Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ. I'm Stitch, and this is part two of my RC Basics series. We are going to talk about all the different types of RCs that are available in the hobby grade. So we're going to start talking about the manufacturers, we're going to talk about scales, and then we're going to talk about the main classes that there are, and then in each class we're going to break that down into some of the vehicles you'll find in those classes. I'm not going to be able to show you every single RC that's out there, or this would be like a day worth of video. So we're going to talk about some basics, 5 to 8 of each of the types in each of the classes. I put together a little PowerPoint and with some pictures for you guys, and we're going to get busy on it. So stay tuned and let's get going.
All right. Welcome to the breakdown of SK Hobbies AZ's RC Basics Part 2 Beginner's Guide to RC Types and Manufacturers. So what we're going to do first is we're going to break them down into the vehicle types. So we've got several categories. We have on-road vehicles. We have monster trucks. We have short course trucks. We have desert trucks. We have rock crawlers. We have truggies. We got buggies. And you got stadium trucks. And thanks to ARMA, we have stunt trucks. So from there, we got all these different categories, and we're going to break them down. But before we get there, let's figure out sizing. So I found this nice little pictorial here that kind of describes and shows you the types of sizing that we have. So it goes all the way down over here to the 164 scale, goes to 143, 135th, 128, 124, and then we get into the common sizes that we're going to be talking about, the 118, 116. There is a 114, but you can see that they didn't put one in here. You got 112th, and then standard RCs that you see people buying, which are the 1/10th scale, and then when they get a little bit more upgradable and all that stuff, they get into the 1/8 scale, and then they get up to the 1/5 scale. And in between, you got 1/6, 1/7 scale, which a couple of our manufacturers have broken into. So we've got that going for us. Got that. They put together kind of like a popularity or standard size up here. What's for outdoor versus track indoor. Sponsor race clubs. That's in the red bar right there. You can see where, you can get into sponsored racing in those groups. And then you got scalar model shelves, and then you have stable part supply, support supplies, like for the 5th scale and the 8th scale and the 10th scale. Kind of fall off in between there until you get to the, the 18, 24, and 28 scale, and then it gets really small in parts when it comes down to the smaller ones, which I showed in one of my videos on my camping trip that we did a little racetrack for the 1/32nd scale little Losi Mini Micro T's. So moving right along, we're going to get into what kind of brands that are out there in the hobby grade RCs. So of course, everybody knows Traxxas. Traxxas is a front runner when it comes to making RCs. And then you have the new guys, ARMA, that have been around for since about 2009, owned by Horizon Hobby now, along with the Losi and the Team Losi Racing. And then you got some old school stuff. OFNA Racing used to rebrand Habayo RCs, and we'll have a couple of those in our video, but OFNA has went away. The guy that owned OFNA retired, so now Habayo has been coming into the U.S. market a lot more now. Exceed's been around for a little while, but they're slowly getting up there, but they've got a couple of vehicles out there that may interest some people. Red Cat Racing, they've got some cheaper lines, and they've got some expensive lines. Axial, also owned by Horizon Hobby. They primarily are in that rock crawler era. And then you got Techno. Techno is it's been around for a while, but they're slowly getting a lot better. There's some really good RCs out there in the Techno line. Kyosho, uh, I believe that they've got some really good buggies. They've even put out a new monster truck, the little Mad Van one. That's pretty cool. If you check out Heavy Metal RC, he's got a buddy that has one of the new Mad Vans. Did a pretty good video on that one. Kind of makes me jealous and want one. HB Racing, you got HPI Racing. They've run that Savage line for a while. They've got some pretty good trucks. They do a lot in the nitro world too. Although this video is not going to be talking about nitro, we're going to be gearing up towards electric only. WL Toys, they're another line out there that's got some good part supply and stuff for them too. X-Ray, they are a good buggy maker. They've been around for a while. Some of the pros use those X-Ray buggies. Mugen Seiki, let me say that right. Mugen Seiki. They are also a buggy. They do have a Truggy, and in the Arma line, we do use some of their shims in our diffs to help stiffen it up and make them run a little bit tighter. And then RC4WD, they're an up and coming place. And then you also got RC Racing, and then of course you have Team Associated, where we all began. So let's start talking about on-road RCs and what's available out there. So I'm going to throw out a couple of RCs in each category with let you know what the scale is and approximate price range. So we're starting off with Traxxas and the Drag Slash, which is a 10th scale RC. It's pretty much a slash, but been converted into being able to run a straight line with that TSM system. You're looking at about $159 before taxes. So all of these prices are going to be before taxes. So then we jump into Losi's release of the 1969 Camaro RTR. They're calling it the No Prep Drag Car. It is a 10th scale. It's the Drag Slash's competition, and it's right around the same price. And then Arma came out with these three bad boys. So you got the Infraction, the Felony, and the Limitless. So they're all 7th scale RCs, except for the Limitless comes as a roller package only. So you got to buy your own electronics for it, so you can soup it up and get that thing to go as fast as you want. But you're looking at about $399.99 before taxes on that bad boy. And the Felony, you're looking at about $699.99, and also that Infraction pretty close to $699.99. So those are both sitting at that $700 level. All of these 5 right here, they're pretty bad, and they get up and go if you like driving on that on-road type RCing. All right, so next up, we're going to start talking about monster trucks. Monster trucks, my favorite category. This is where my Creighton sits. And we're going to start off with the Traxxas 10th scale Stampede, which you're looking at a price range between $199.99 and that $399.99, and it all depends on what you're after. Whether you're going for that brush system, a brushless system, but you can all start with that same $199 package and work your way up and build yourself a pretty good 10th scale monster truck right there. And continuing on with that, we're going to the 3 bad boys at Traxxas right here. So you got the Haas 4x4, you got the Max, and you got the X-Max. So these guys, you got the Haas and the Max sitting at a 10th scale, and then you got the X-Max, which they call their full size or large size scale. It's equivalent to a 5th scale RC. And price wise, we're looking at about $479.99 on that Haas, and on the Max, you're looking at about $549.99, and then you hit that X-Max at that $999.99. So it just escalates in price from there. And then you're going to roll into Habayo. So Habayo released a Hyper MTE monster truck. It's their Plus edition. It's an 8 scale. It's pretty much an equivalent competition into that Max, and also into the rest of the 8 scale lines like the Arma. And you're looking at about $560 before shipping and tax. And then you got Arma's line. So these are the 3 Creightons that they have. So they have the 4S 4x4 Creighton, and then they got the 6S, and then they have the 8S. And so you're looking at that 4S is equivalent to the 10th scale. You got the 6S Creighton at the 8th scale, and then it comes to the big boy. That's the X-Max's competition right there, is the Creighton 8S in the 5th scale range. So with that, you're looking at about $399.99 for that Creighton 4S. You're looking at pretty close to $600, the $599.99 for the 6S, and then just a little bit cheaper than the X-Max, but you're looking at about $969.99 for that Creighton 8S. And then Red Cat Racing, surprisingly, come in with this 6th scale shredder brushless, which seems like it's getting a lot of hype on the internet. And you're looking at about $379.99 starting. It is a brush system, but I'm sure anybody can get that electronics upgraded and make that bad boy even better. So let's branch into short trucks now. Short course trucks now. So sitting at the 10th scale era, we have Red Cat Racing with that Piranha TR10 brushless, or brushed 2-wheel drive Truggy. Now I don't know why they call it a Truggy, because it is considered a short course truck, but you know, we're going with it. You're looking anywhere between $169.99 to $259.99, depending on what you're looking for. If you're looking for the brush system or a brushless system or whatnot, but they have several little different categories you can pick in that with that truck. Then you got Traxxas's Slash. So this is what the drag Slash was made from, and but it was made from a short course truck body, and you can get it's a large range there from the $229.99 to $549.99. So it depends on what you want. Same thing with any of these other ones you're going to see in ranges, is whether you're looking for a brush system or a brushless system. I'm sure that when it comes down to it, down the road here, I'll do a video about the differences between running a brush system or a brushless system, and the advantages and disadvantages. So then we get into the Team Losi Racing. So this is one of the Losi lines. It's their racing line. They came out with the 10 SCTE 3.0 truck, which is a 10th scale. And you're looking at approximately $497.99 out before taxes. And then Habayo. Habayo has the Hyper SC Truggy electric, ready to run. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. It's an 8th scale, and you're going to look at about $539 before taxes. And then Arma has the Senton 3S BLX, which is a 10th scale, which is kind of equivalent to the rest of the short course trucks, except for the Habayo, and it does have a range, you know, from $269.99 to $369.99. So it's all going to depend on you know, what you want, whether you're going brushed or brushless. And then last but not least, we have Team Associated. So they brought out the Pro 4 SC10 RTR, and you're looking at about $399.99 for that bad boy. All right, so next up all right, so next up we're going to be talking about the Buggy class. So in the Buggy class, we're going to start off with Red Cat Racing. Red Cat Racing. They got the Tornado EP Pro 4-wheel drive buggy. So this one's going to have all 4 wheels. It's going to be running multiple differentials with a 10th scale model, ready to run. So you're looking at pretty good low price there for a 10th scale, $249.99. Then we're going to jump up to the Typhon from Arma, which is the 6S BLX. Now they do have a 3S version. I didn't put the picture up here, but we went with the 6S. It is an 8 scale, and once again, depending on what you're looking for and your setup, you could get between the 269 to 549 range. And then Traxxas. Traxxas has their little fingers in there just a little bit with that 10th scale. They came out with the Bandit, you know, boasting their TSM system. And you're looking at right around between 189.99 and 319. You know, depends on what you're going for, and a lot of that is just based off of, you know, whether you're going to get a brush system or a brushless system. And I think they throw a couple other little hop ups in there to get to that 319 level. And then Habayo. Habayo's got the Hyper VSE 1/8 scale buggy electric. Comes in two different colors there, you can see. And you're looking at about 530 out the door at some places from what I've seen with free shipping. But I'm sure they're probably going to add some tax into that too, so keep that in mind. And then you have the Mugen Seiki. So they came out with this MBX8 Eco Team Edition 4-wheel drive electric buggy in the 8th scale, and you're looking at almost $800 before taxes. So it's a little bit expensive, but you know, my mom always said that you pay or you get what you pay for. So, you know, keep that in mind. You know, you're going to spend a little money, but I guarantee that thing's not going to break as easy as some of the other ones we've talked about. And then we get into the Losi 8E. So Losi's got a several different 8. They run we'll see one in the Truggy section, but they have both nitro and electric. This one's a ready to run buggy. You can go either way with it. And you're looking at about $699.99, whether you want to get into the nitro side too. And then, last but not least on this category, we got Team Associates, RC8B3 2.0, or I guess it's a 3.2 team kit. It is an 8 scale, and you're looking at about $640 before taxes. All right, so let's move on to the Truggy class. So we're looking at the Red Cat Racing Piranha TR10 brushless Truggy, which is a 6 scale, so it's a little bit on the bigger side. But it's coming in at $379.99. It does have a brushed motor in it. I'm sure that we can get that upgraded, but you know, anything's upgradable in the hobby grade. And then we move to the Techno. The Techno's electric buggy kit, the ET48 2.0. I've seen several of these ripping up the desert out here. But you know, they got a little bit of a steep price there at that $650. And then backing it up in the Arma collection, you got the Talon 6X BLX. This is one of my next favorites, hopefully, as soon as I can get a hands on one. But it is an 8 scale. You're looking at about $750 beforehand, but that thing is a beast. And then you've got Team Associated's RC8T 3.2E team kit, and that is an 8 scale, coming in a little bit less than that Techno up there, or the Techno. So you're sitting at about $620 before taxes. And then you have Team Losi's Racing, the 8XTE, that special editions one, and you're looking at about $40 more than the Arma Creighton, but you're sitting at about $770. And then finally, on the lower end scale, it's still an 8 scale, holding with the bunch there is the Habayo, the Hyper SSTE Truggy. I saw a guy out there on YouTube running and bashing this thing, and it's a beast. It was doing pretty good. I believe it was that Aussie RC playground guy that has this, and he did an unboxing video on it. He did really good. It's a little bit cheaper on the scale though. You're looking at about $505 from Habayo USA, and it's a pretty good setup. I think he even upgraded it to some Hobby Wing stuff and electronics on it. But this thing's stock was a beast. All right, so let's get into the stadium trucks. So in the stadium trucks, we're going to start off with Traxxas's Rustler. I got the Rustler VXL. It's pretty good. For a 10th scale, but it does range. You can get it for 199 all the way up to 430. Now that is going to depend, just like I said previously with these ranges. Whether you're trying to go brushed, brushless, you want the top end electronics that Traxxas has to offer. You're going to be getting up into that 430 area. And then in the smaller scale, and coming in on the 118, I actually picked up a couple of these for my kids. Actually, this week we just picked them up, and these are the Losi Mini T 2.0s. They're little two-wheel drive brushless truck systems, and they seem pretty fun. The kids love them. And they're ranging anywhere between $149.99 to the $229.99. Now, the $149 ones, those are the brush systems, and then the $229 is the brushless systems. And they're pretty cool right out of the box. They send you the batteries for the controller and everything. So it's a complete, ready-to-go system. And then coming in a little bit bigger in the scale, the 10th scale. So this is their standard stadium truck, and it's the 22 SST. It's just a pretty cool one. It comes with that ABC control, so that's coming in a little bit more at the 350 range. And then moving over to Arma's 10th scale Vortex 3S BLX. I think Thunder RC watched him do a video of putting a aluminum plate on the diamond plate bottom on it and bashing it, and that thing did pretty cool. So Thunder RC, if you're watching this video, props to you. I enjoyed that. And it's coming in at just under $400 there. All right, so Exceed came out with this ECX circuit two-wheel drive stadium truck brushed RTR, and it's on the lower end of the scale. You're setting at about $140 beforehand, but it seems like it's a pretty capable vehicle from what I've seen. And then last is going to be Team Associated's RC10T 6.2. One of my first RCs I ever had was actually a nitro version of their RC10, and that thing was cool. It was old, but it was definitely cool to play with it in those little 10th scale stadium trucks. This bad boy's coming in about $360, and she's ready to go out of the box. All right, so next up we're going to talk about this class. So this is a desert truck and the desert buggy RCs. So it's kind of I would say kind of a new branch off from the regular trucks, the stadium trucks, and getting into more of the I guess the more dune related desert buggies. And so we're going to start off with the 10th scale Losi Rock Ray. This is a brushless edition, coming out about $405 there. And you're going to see here Losi's all over the place in this market. I think they cornered this and created this whole new category. But anyways, they came out the Tenacity. This is the DB Pro up there. It's another 4x4 buggy, coming in a little bit more expensive at the 430 range. And then you're getting into the bigger guys. This is the Super Baja Ray in the 1/6 scale. This is kind of, to me, looks like it's more of a stadium truck, or not a stadium truck, more like a short course truck than it is a desert truck. But I guess this thing rips it in the sand, so it comes in at about $700. And then this is a bad boy right here. So this is your Losi DBXL E 2.0. This is the 5th scale. This thing is just a beast. I've seen some guys out there on YouTube just bashing the heck out of this thing, and it's taking it all. But for that ability and for the toughness of this guy, it's got a steep price coming in at almost $1,100. Um, it's crazy. It's on my dream list to get one of them and bash it. So then a little bit shorter scale, you're setting at a 10 scale. The laser nut, four-wheel drive brushless ready to run kit. This guy's pretty cool. I threw him in this category, just because he's a dune racer, and but he's setting at about $540. So, and then last but not least, you've got the Mojave 6X BLX 7th scale. You can see he's kind of got that short course truck look to it, but he's right there in that price range as everybody else in the market, sitting at about $530. All right, so this next category here, rock crawlers. I don't own any rock crawlers, but I'd say that it's on my list to get them. But I went ahead and broke this list down for everybody. So Traxxas has got a 10th scale. They got that TRX4, and they have numerous different body styles that you can get for them. I'm showing you the truck body up there. Then you got the Land Rover edition, and I think they have like a couple of Ford editions, truck editions, Jeep editions. But they're ranging anywhere between $370 to $550. And then you get into Losey's line, the Nightcrawler SE, which is they call it a 4x4 scale crawler. It's a 10th scale, and you're looking at about 350 starter on that. I believe it's because of that little roll cage they got on it that it's making it a little durable when it comes down to getting things accomplished. And then you got Red Cat Racing coming in with the Everest. It's coming in about 270. And then, of course, you've got Axial. Axial's got the Wraith. It's a 10th scale. It's your baseline to get into this, rock crawling era, setting at about 330. They've also got the Ridge Rock, which is coming in at about 119, a little bit cheaper on the pocketbook there. And then you have the SCX10 Jeep Wrangler with portals, ready to run, 10th scale, which is coming in at a whopping $540. So they've got a wide variety of ranges there when it comes to them. And then, of course, finishing out with Axial, you've got the Capra 4x4 Unlimited Trail Buggy Kit, which is a 10th scale, and that's setting at $369. The Ridge Rock over here is a Red Cat Racing, so don't get me wrong when I was talking about Axial. Your Axials is the Wraith, the Capra, and the SCX10. The Ridge Rock and the Everest, those are both on the Red Cat side. So, and then my favorite category of them all is the one that Arma's created for us, called the Stunt Truck. So the Stunt Truck has got a couple of models in it. So in the 8th scale line, we have the Outcast 6X or 6S BLX, which they then turned around and put an old school body shell on it. And I believe they've done a little bit of beef up on the shock towers and stuff like that, and came out with the notorious 6S in the 8 scales. So you're looking at, for that Notorious, you're looking anywhere between $599.99 to $749.99, depending on if you want the basher roller that they've got. You're going to pay a little bit more for. And then on the Outcast side, it's about $749.99. And then they made a little smaller one. It's the Outcast 4S BLX in the 10th scale, and you're looking at a $400 price tag on that bad boy. And then the big boy, the 5th scale, the Outcast 8S BLX. I don't have one of these, but I plan on getting one very soon. And this guy is setting at about $969.99. So that kind of sums up the Stunt Trucks. It's a new market out there. We'll see if anybody else decides they're going to try to jump in on it, but telling you what, these outcasts, the control that you get in the air with these things is ridiculous. These things like will stop on a dime in the air when you want to flip it and do whatever you want with it. It's just ultimate control. So we'll see if anybody else comes out with anything, and I'll update you guys as that stuff happens. So with that being said, this comes to the end, and when it comes down to all of these different brands, you've got all these different ones to choose from. I'm sure there's probably more out there.
Well, all right. Well, I hope that was very informative for you guys. If you guys got any questions, get down into that comments section and ask me some questions. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like it, subscribe. I've also started a patrons. So if you guys want to get on there and stay up to date on all my information, as we grow that, we'll start putting together some more stuff to get out to you guys. And so like I said, please like, subscribe, bash that bell, and we'll see y'all guys real soon. I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ. I'm out.